Your phone is face down, silent, untouched for the last 11 minutes, and you are still losing. Not attention, not time, something else, something you don't have a name for yet. What if I told you the notification doesn't have to arrive for it to cost you something? The damage is already done the moment the possibility exists. You think your problem is screen time. It isn't. You've been told the story 100 times. Phone use leads to distraction, leads to a broken mind. So you deleted the apps, set the screen time limits, turned the phone face down, and still, something in you stayed fractured. Here is the uncomfortable possibility. You can be distracted without touching your phone at all. Look at the small green circle beside a name. It doesn't say new message. It says something colder, reachable. It means someone could contact you, and your nervous system does not distinguish between the two. This is where the science gets uncomfortable. The brain doesn't only respond to stimulus, it responds to the anticipation of stimulus. Read that again. The notification doesn't have to arrive. The possibility of it is enough. You've felt this before. Writing with WhatsApp open beside you, working with Slack glowing in the corner, studying, buzz face up on the desk. Nothing happens, no banner, no sound. And yet some part of your mind never fully arrives at the page. Some part of it stays posted at the door. So here's the real diagnosis. Your problem was never that you are constantly distracted. Your problem is that you are constantly interruptible. Let's stop naming the disease. Let's open it up. Mechanism 1. Anticipatory vigilance. The moment you become reachable, uncertainty enters the system. You don't know who it will be. You don't know if it matters. Uncertainty demands monitoring, and so the brain begins running a background process. Available leads to possible interruption, leads to monitoring, leads to allocation. You are not consciously thinking, I am waiting for a message. You don't have to. A portion of your cognitive machinery has already been assigned to the perimeter. This is the part that should unsettle you. Silence is not the same as freedom. The phone can stay dark for hours, and your attention can still be partially checked out. Mechanism 2. Attention residue. There is a second layer, colder still. When you switch from one task to another, your mind doesn't fully follow you. A fragment stays behind. Task A, interruption. Task B. But some residue of task A remains lodged in the system. Now trace the pattern of your actual day. Writing, WhatsApp, writing, email, writing, Instagram, and writing. Each switch leaves a fragment. By hour 3, you are not operating at full capacity. You are operating on the leftover 30% of 6 different unfinished tasks. Put both mechanisms together, and the picture sharpens. Anticipatory vigilance explains why you stay oriented toward interruption before it happens. Attention residue explains what is lost after it does. Availability, anticipation, interruption, switching, residue, degraded concentration. That is the real machinery working against you. And here's the reframe that matters. This was never your phone is bad. It is colder than that. You built a system in which your attention became permanently negotiable. You did this voluntarily, by default. Focus was never the real casualty. Decision quality was. There is research on something called the brain drain effect. A device doesn't have to be in use to extract a cost. It only has to be present. Read that sentence again, slowly. Phone untouched, brain still paying. Draw the line between two states. Active distraction. You are using the device. Ambient accessibility. The device is simply there, reachable, potentially relevant. The first one is visible, easy to police. The second one is invisible. That is what makes it dangerous. Now follow the tacks upward into the systems that actually matter. Planning, prioritization, inhibition, reasoning, strategic thought, long chains of complex thinking. These don't run on raw time. They run on uninterrupted executive capacity. And that is the resource you have been bleeding out. A distracted operator doesn't simply get less done. They make shallower decisions, Abandon hard problems sooner. Chase easier stimulation. Lose the thread mid-thought. Become reactive by default. There are two kinds of minds operating right now. The reactive operator asks, "What needs my attention?" The strategic operator asks, "What deserves my attention?" One is governed by incoming signals. The other is governed by deliberate priority. Availability determines which one you become. So return to the green dot. It was never just a status marker. It was a quiet social contract. You can be reached, and the moment you are reachable, other people's priorities begin to compete with your own. The solution was never use your phone less. That is self-control, weak and easily defeated. The real answer is colder and more precise. Become deliberately difficult to interrupt. Principle 1. Kill ambient availability. Separate two things that were never supposed to be fused. Being connected from being available. Phone outside the workspace. Notifications strict down to nothing. Messaging apps closed, not minimized. Status indicators disabled wherever possible. The tool doesn't matter. The principle does. Principle 2. Create communication window. Stop trying to be permanently responsive. Input, processing, output. These are not supposed to run at the same time. Deep work, then a communication window, then deep work again. Communication stops being ambient. It becomes scheduled. Principle 3. Manufacture strategic opacity. This is the signature move. Strategic opacity means reducing other people's certainty about when they can reach you. Not to seem important, because predictability creates interruption opportunities, and opacity closes them. Principle 4. Protect the first cognitive hours. The first block of your day does not belong to messages, to email, to notifications, to anyone else's priorities. Ask one question before you ask anything else. What requires my highest quality thinking today? Then protect the conditions required to execute it. Principle 5. Build the availability firewall. Physical device outside reach. Digital notifications and presence indicators minimized. Temporal. Communication confined to defined windows. Social. People learn immediate access isn't guaranteed. Cognitive, one task, given the full executive system. The goal was never isolation, it was control. Controlled access. Somewhere right now, your phone is sitting nearby, silent, untouched, and some fragment of your mind is still standing guard at the door. The normal operator says, "I need more self-control." The strategic operator says, "I need better access control." That is the entire difference. That is the entire war. Subscribe to Covert Mind.